Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Liran Koren. I want to take this opportunity again and to go ahead and look at the auction. Today is Friday and today there are only HOA foreclosures, and I want to take another case study and show you what not to bid on, and I want to see if any other person at the auction today is going to make mistakes, and I'm going to try and call him. Today there are coming 6 foreclosures to the auction. All of them are HOA foreclosures. So the HOA is actually foreclosing on the person, and this is my Excel spreadsheet. This is where I have all the information about these properties and also my comments. So as you can see, the first property, it's got $85,000 mortgage that was just assigned. I will explain what the assignment means. And on this property, there is a $270,000 mortgage outstanding, and same thing on this property and same thing on that property. And whoever is gonna go to the HOA and to the auction today, or who's gonna buy any of those properties here that are coming in just about a minute, is gonna lose all the money. Okay, this bid right now is a bad bid because I already checked that property of what we're looking at right now, and nobody should actually bid on that property because, first of all, this property is worth about $68,000 or $70,000. All right, so the person here is already bidding $27,000 just paying the HOA lien. The problem is that underneath the title, okay, there are other liens that are owed money. So whoever is going to buy this foreclosure today at the auction, the HOA foreclosure, is still subject to other liens that may exist on the property. And what I did is I already checked what liens were on that property, and my conclusion was that it's underwater and I should not touch it. There is no value whatsoever to buy this property. If it's worth about $65,000 and there is another $85,000 outstanding mortgage, so basically there is no equity. There is no reason whatsoever to somebody who's gonna pay for this property. The only beneficiary from this sale is gonna be the HOA, because the HOA is gonna get paid $25,000, the full judgment, for a property that they probably thought in their mind that they're not gonna get paid for, or maybe the bank, until the bank comes and forecloses, is gonna take years. When the bank comes and forecloses, they only pay about 12 months of past due to the HOA. And when the HOA brings the lawsuit, they have a chance of having bidders who don't know what they're doing and actually paying the full judgment, $25,000 versus maybe $3,000. So the community there is gonna be really, really happy about this sale if it's gonna bring $25,000. That actually means nothing. And I wanna go and I wanna check this property with you here, and I wanna see if I have my searches open, and let me see if I can find the mortgage that was assigned. This is the mortgage on that property, 2016 in Lauderhill. So as you can see, okay, I'm going to show this document here. As you can see, there is a mortgage, okay, that is outstanding here, was just assigned. And if you look at the unit number 102, and if you look at the document here, it says apartment 102, and that mortgage was just assigned for $85,000. Was just assigned. Assigned means that the bank is preparing to file their foreclosure. The assignment basically gives them, they can sell the note to anybody, they can sell it to an investor as an assignment, and usually after that assignment, after the bank assigns the note to whatever company, they are preparing for a foreclosure and they're going to start their foreclosure. So they're going to start their foreclosure with $85,000 principal that was owed to them, but that judgment can get $240,000. So very, very shortly, the bank is going to start the foreclosure and is going to eliminate whoever is bidding on this property today here at the auction. And they're making another mistake, and they're going to make a $33,000 mistake if they're going to pay for that. So I'm taking this case study today to actually show how much it's important to know what you're doing, how much it's important to ask somebody who knows what he's doing, if what you're doing is right, and how much it's important to understand the priority of liens and what auction means, okay, when you buy title as is. So I'm gonna have to try to contact the person who bought this property. I'm gonna do a search afterwards to see if I can help these people. in not paying tomorrow, in saving them money. My goal is to save somebody's money, to save somebody's $30,000 or $40,000. And today I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to see if I can help people here. So this person is bidding $16,000 on a property that already marked off my list here. It's basically also a worthless property. It's seriously, it's worth about $30,000 maybe. Let's look at the last sales. 60 they say. Make it 60. No, that's a smaller. It's about $50,000, $45,000 maximum of this property, this community here. And whoever is buying it today is basically getting nothing. There is a mortgage on that property and already marked it off because those properties are not even worth owning. You see, I keep talking about home ownership all the time, and you're looking at a $50,000 property, okay, a $45,000 property that it's got a mortgage on it, and whoever is bidding right now is bidding $21,000 on a $45,000, $50,000 worth of property. And the idea here is to buy properties with equity, not to have the liability of just owning a property, because whoever buys this property today is going to have to renovate that property, is going to have to satisfy other lien holders, and is paying top premium price for it today. So there is not enough margin for equity in that case. And the ownership is going to be liability, because you're going to have to do the same thing for this property that is buying today. For the same property, if you buy it for $200,000, it doesn't matter if you bought it for $40,000 or $200,000. You still have to renovate it, fix it, overcome some obstacles along the way, and that can be time consuming, that can be frustrating, and that can be costly. And especially when you're working on a very, very small margin, okay, with a $20,000 or $10,000, you really can have a lot of pitfalls along the way, okay? People don't really consider their realtor fees, marketing fees, attorney fees, all the other fees, carrying cost fees, okay? When you own a property and you actually have title on that property, even if you buy it at the auction and somebody objects to the sale, you're still the owner of the title even afterwards, and you're still obligated to pay whatever dues you need, taxes, HOA. You are on title, so the bill is going to come to you. Okay, all of the parties of interest who have interest in that property, they're going to send a new bill right now to whoever is going to buy this property right now. And that's going to be a liability, because if he's not going to pay those bills, then the other parties of interest are going to come and foreclose on them, like I just explained in my other videos about the parties of interest. The basic idea is that people think they own their home, they own it, like they own it, but in reality they don't really own it, because you have so many parties of interest that can take your property from you, or eat your equity, or file some lien and then try to foreclose on you. And if you're not gonna be responsible landlord, if you're not gonna be a responsible homeowner, you're gonna lose your property, you're gonna lose your interest in that property, and as a result of that, you might lose your equity as a whole. So that's one of the most important things you need to keep in mind, especially when buying at the auctions. And these people here that bidding, they're just coming from nowhere. I think they think that they're buying a house. They're not buying a HOA lien. They're buying a regular free clear title, and that's definitely not the case. So I'm just gonna wait for these two properties to just disappear. Not interested in any of those. And also the last properties here are also bad. I checked all of them. And before we even go into looking at the auction, those two ones, let's look at the ones that are already searched, and I want to show you why they are in red and why I don't want anybody to bid on these properties. It's disaster. Okay, this property has got a $270,000 mortgage outstanding. And let me see if I can go ahead and find it. So the way you do it basically is you search for the person's name, and then you can find in the public recording department, as I did over here, I searched this person's name. Luis is on title. So if you click on the property appraisal, you can see his name, and I searched him since he owned that property, and my result came with a large debt here. There is a mortgage here that was just assigned as well. They're going to start a foreclosure for $267,000. This is an outstanding mortgage, and you can see just by looking at the person's name and going to the public recording, you can see it referenced the unit, E1, Village D, and also give you the address, 1704 in Coconut Creek. And if we go to our spreadsheet, this is the address, and this is everything is correct, and there is a $270,000 outstanding mortgage on that property. At the same time, this property is not worth that much, so it's very easy to understand that there is no equity in that property, and the only reason somebody would buy it is just to buy it for a short period of time until the bank forecloses and rent it while he owns it. So that's the only reason why somebody would do that.